What's good? It's Fevir. Now, with Wildstar being so close that we can taste it, let's look at how to level as quickly and efficiently as possible with no gimmicks, no exploits. Sorry, Hellrose Bowl, we're going to be doing this legit. Unfortunately for us, that means that we're going to have to quest our balls off. From level 1 all the way up to cap, we need to be grinding, quest after quest, with no rest. This means no dungeons, no crafting, no housing, no paths, no nothing, no fun, just all quests, all the time.
Report, eh? Stop listening. Look here.
We're going to want to do the highest level quests that we can survive and complete without much difficulty. Usually this means anywhere between 1 to 3 levels above our current level, so check out these maps from theflamerot.com which label the different sections of each zone by the levels, and don't be afraid to abandon any active quests or entire hubs of quests to start questing in areas that are 1 to 3 levels above you. We aren't going for completion, just speed. Also, the moment that you can go to the next zone, do so. Keep in mind that you will exhaust your quest options around level 48 or 49, whether you skipped quests along the way or not, and this is due to the quest experience scaling. So you might need to enter into the daily areas or mob grind to get your last level or two, but this is to be expected, and just because you cleared out Daradoon doesn't mean you won't have to do this later on. You'll want to take advantage of all of the experience buffs. Now, there is a guild perk as well as an experience buff potion that do exist, but due to the unlock requirements, we'll probably not have these available for our first characters, but it's good to note for alts that will be rolling in the future. Instead, we're going to be focusing on 3 separate buffs. The housing buff board, which will give you a daily 5% or 10% experience buff. You're going to want the first option, which will increase your questing experience. There's also a 2% experience buff, among other things, that you'll get for adding an authenticator to your account. I'll post a couple links, especially this Reddit link, which will give you more information, and you can even set up an authenticator with your computer as opposed to having to use a smartphone. And also, you're going to be trolling for settler stations. You're going to be looking for those giant triangles in the sky. Now, whether you're a settler or not, you're going to be heading to these places for the stat buffs, the teleports, the experience bonuses, the movement speed bonuses. They're all welcome additions and will help you grind through faster. Now, keep in mind, if you're a settler, you have an innate advantage because you can set this stuff up yourself and you earn the materials just through grinding mobs. If you're not a settler and you get too far ahead of the pack, those settler stations aren't going to be up. So keep that in mind if you're choosing to sort of blitz through. That settler might be a really good path for you. You'll also want to make sure that your limited action set and your amps are set up in a way to reduce downtime and make you more mobile and faster. Choose abilities that let you go from pack to pack quickly and use these abilities on cooldown. Choose abilities that will allow you to continue fighting without needing to stop and eat consumables afterwards. Don't be afraid to throw on a heal or a defensive cooldown to make that happen. Make use of your innate. They have low cooldowns, and when I watch people play, they just tend to sit on them. They just never use them at all. Also, keep in mind that abilities off the GCD that do damage, such as the Warrior's Flashbang, use those to kill mobs because you're fitting in damage without having to wait that second and a half for that GCD. And if you're killing mobs by saving a GCD each time, believe me, it's going to add up on your way up to 50. Each class also has lifesteal amps in case you need a little bit more sustainability through your grinding. And be on the lookout for anything that will increase your movement speed or stamina regen or dash regeneration, and also movement speed boots regardless of what stats are on them. Your mount is also very important, and before you buy one, be cheap. Sell everything, don't buy abilities that you're not going to use, don't buy armor or repair, because from questing, you'll barely have enough to buy a mount when you're finally able to. Besides all that, just play with a sense of urgency and common sense. Bind your teleport and use it as often as possible. Take advantage of the fact that most abilities cleave, so if you can handle 2 packs, then pull 2 packs at a time. Don't be afraid to destroy items instead of heading back to town to sell, and don't fucking die. Not only does it wipe buffs and is humiliating, but that's precious time that you've wasted, and if you're playing on a PvP server, then change your limited action set to be able to escape or to fight back. Play upbeat music or sit in Skype and bullshit with your friends. If you don't have friends, then make some. I cannot tell you how much it helps to just shoot the shit as you're leveling. high energy levels are super important. If you get tired, take small breaks, feed, rehydrate, and return refreshed and ready to grind your balls against more quests. Now, I did mention it very briefly before, but getting ahead of the pack is super important. Even if you just want to hardcore at first, the advantages that you gain, like not having to wait for respawns, having full reign over the mobs, being the first to be able to attack rare mobs, they're just so important for leveling quickly. And lastly, with what's implemented in the game, leveling in a group should be faster mechanically, but in practice, it really isn't. Each group is only as fast as its slowest member, and even in the dry runs with a bunch of other fast levelers in my group, it was slower, so fly solo. Now remember that all of this means nothing if you just want to enjoy your experience. There's nothing forcing you to get level 50 within a day or 2 days or 3 days, and if you are trying to race through, realize that even though you might have seen the number get level 50 in 25 hours, not everyone's going to be able to do that, and don't be hard on yourself if you have to take a nap. Anyhow, this is Fevir. I'll see you at 50. Peace.